Hey everybody, this is Mace1370 here for another RTRA 4 draft. We have a few cards we can pick here. New Prof Guildmage is probably the strongest. Other cards I would consider to be Centaur Healer and Sunspire Griffin. I think Sunspire Griffin is just generally weaker than New Prof Guildmage. I mean, it's definitely a good card. I guess you can also consider Syncopate. New Prof Guildmage, though, is, you're going to play it in pretty much every deck that you'll play Sunspire, or that you really want to play Sunspire, so I think it just makes a lot more sense to take the Guildmage here. Hollowed Fountain is worth a couple tickets, so I guess you could take it for that reason. Centaur Healer is, a strong card in Selesnya. I think New Prof Guildmage is the strongest card in this pack, though, so we'll take it. And we are instantly rewarded with a Skymark Rock. This card is pretty nuts. Happy to pick back-to-back good uncommons in Selesnya, or not Selesnya, I'm sorry, in Azorius. Other cards, let's see. So after this is gone, the next person doesn't really have great options, so they'll probably just, follow up something based on what they first or second picked. So I don't really know what the person next to us will be doing. Well, there's a Hellhole Flailer, so that card is very strong. There was a Gorehouse Chainwalker in the previous pack, so hopefully we send someone into Rakdos next to us. And here we just have an Azorius Charm, which is a pretty easy pick. It's better than Vassal Soul. So yeah, that's 3 good Azorius cards in a row. Hopefully it just keeps flowing. Okay, well here we have Knightly Valor, followed by Tower Drake and Bluster Squall. All 3 cards that are good to have in Azorius. I think Knightly Valor is the best of those 3. 3 power flyer or 3 mana costing flyers are, kind of the backbone or the bread and butter of this deck. Having cards like Knightly Valor are just so good though because they're so powerful. Bluster Squall is okay, but it's not the best in Azorius because most of your guys have evasion anyways. Alright, well this has been pretty straightforward. We have an Azorius Keyrune and a Vassal Soul. I guess the Keyrune is probably better than Vassal Soul, but we don't really have anything expensive we're ramping into, so I think we probably want to take the Vassal Soul here. Yeah, Keyrune's, it's definitely not bad. I like Vassal Soul, I think we'll take it. I don't know, this is tough. We're not really fixing anything, and like I said earlier, we're not really ramping towards anything. There's going to be plenty of 4-drops between, this and Hussar Patrols that we're going to want to cast. So, jumping up to Knightly Valor return early isn't that exciting, especially if you're using your third turn on that. Alright, well, here we have, I guess, a Selesnya here, and if we wanted to splash green, I don't think that's the choice. Asperius Skywatch is an option, Soul Tithe is an option. I think I like Swift Justice here. Skywatch it's an okay card. I usually don't have a problem getting 1 or 2 6 casting cost flyers though. Sometimes I don't get enough tricks, so I think I'll probably take the Swift Justice. Soul Tithe is alright. I have not been impressed with it. Okay, here we'll take Mizium Skin. It's okay. Civic Saber, I guess, is maybe an option considering we have 1, 2, 3 double color cards. No, I think I'll take the Mizium Skin. We already have a Knightly Valor, so we're going to probably want to play it. Well, I guess we'll take Selesnya Guildgate. There's really nothing else for us in this pack. I don't think we'll need to play it. But, if we open a Vidugazi Guildmage or something, it'd be nice to be able to splash it easily, so that's a reason that we might get to use the Guildgate later. Okay, so we're back for this one. And here we just take the Azorius Guildgate. Nothing really competing for it. I wonder if, like, the Sunspire Griffin, or maybe that was the Sunspire Griffin pack. 2, 4... No, now we'll see the wheel. I don't think the Sunspire Griffin will table. If any of the flyers, the 3 mana flyers table, that would be awesome for us. I'm not anticipating that happening. I think we've cut Azorius fairly well. I mean, like, we just took a bunch of strong Azorius cards back to back, so this draft has been very straightforward so far. If the other packs are like this, I think we'll have a very solid deck. Okay, well, I'm happy to take Hussar Patrol. This card is definitely better than Cellar of Songwords. Train Caracol is a pretty mediocre sideboard. The only time I would ever bring it in would be against a very aggressive Rakdos deck that's unleashing all their creatures, because then they can't block it, and so you can just get, like 3 to 5 points of life with it just by beating in the early turns, and then later on you can just use it to chump and prevent a bunch of damage from a, like a spawn of Rixmati or something. Alright, well, we're back. Giant Growth Tabling is good for a Selesnya player. Skyline Predator. I mean, I'm obviously taking it here. This is what I talked about. It's easy to get a couple 6-mana flyers. Tower Drake tabling is pretty awesome. Didn't expect that to happen. Another late Giant Growth. Here we'll just take Axebane Stag. I'm not going to play it, but I think it's weird, because initially I actually preferred Asperius Skywatch, because I like the Detain. Cancel tabling is pretty cool too. We might actually play it. I think now I actually prefer Skyline Predator, especially in an aggressive deck where you want to throw down your creatures and then just maintain board control. Because when you're, on turn 5 or 6 and you have a couple tricks in hand, it's really nice to be able to attack, leaving mana open for those, and then being able to flash in the Predator, like at end of turn. Well, somebody's getting a Corpsejack Menace, so I guess that's awesome for them. Here we can take a Vassal Soul, we could take a Dispel, or an Azorius Arrestor. Alright, well, so I think we definitely need more creatures like Vassal Soul. Dispel is a card that's been increased, going up in value. It's sometimes hard to pick these up. I think I'm actually going to take it here, because we don't have one yet. This could be a pod where I regret doing that, because sometimes this card will go around in circles, sometimes you'll see a bunch of them. But when there's a ton of, spells like Giant Growth and Common Bond, being able to stop those cold is pretty amazing. And, like we saw with the Tower Drake wheeling last time, you definitely pick up these cards, they can come by a little later. And who knows, we might wheel, the Azorius Arrestor here or something. So I'm going to take the Dispel. That might be a little controversial, though. Wow, there's a Righteous Authority. This card is pretty bonkers. That's an amazing pass. And they passed the Temple Garden. Looks like they took an uncommon. Maybe if we're lucky, we wheel the Keening Apparition. Yeah, now that we have Righteous Authority too, I like the Dispel pick there. Alright, well here we could take another Swift Justice or a Crosstown Courier or a Concordia Pegasus. This pack is pretty weak for us. The Concordia, or the Crosstown Courier might table, so might the Pegasus. I guess I'll just take the 2-drop. He's not very exciting, for the record. Okay, well here we have a Tristani's Judgment and a Tower Drake. I like Tower Drake a lot, and I would like to take Tristani's Judgment just so we have some removal. So I think that's probably the pick. We can, like I said, I think once I pick up the key pieces, a good piece of removal or two, some good tricks, then I can start grabbing these guys up a lot more. And I'm kind of hoping they wheel here. So I'm going to take the Judgment. I like having one. Ooh, this is tough. Yeah, see, there's that Dispel that I mentioned, but here we have an Azorius Charm, which I think is probably the pick over Knightly Valor. We already have one Knightly Valor and a Righteous Authority, so I don't know how many of these 5-mana enchantments we want to stack up on each other. Stealer of Secrets is good too, and I think we might need to start prioritizing creatures because we're getting quite a few tricks. Well, speaking of tricks, there's a Dramatic Rescue, which I'm going to take because this card is nuts. Here's a Mizim Skin. We may play that, maybe not. Alright, well here's a late Tower Drake. And a super late Centaur Herald. That's a little abnormal. So, I mean, we pretty much have the core of our deck. We just need to grab more 3-mana flyers at this point, and then we're good to go. So hopefully they will be in great abundance. And maybe some wheel. If this came so late, it's a good chance that we'll get the other ones. Alright, well we got the Vassal Soul back. So yeah, this table has been pretty nice to us. I don't know if we're the only Azorius player, but wow, look at that. Okay, so do we want Security Blockade or Keening Apparition? I think we want Keening Apparition here. My reasoning for that, we have some 3-drops already, and we kind of want flyer 3-drops. This is more of a Selesnya card, to be honest. Keening Apparition is great because it protects us from other enchantments. Okay, so here I could take Swift Justice or Downsize. I don't know if I'll play a second Swift Justice. I kind of like having the Downsize just for the option. Another Azorius Guildgate is nice, I suppose. Wow, and there's a Dispel. Well, I guess we were getting it all. So all of my hemming and hawing ended up not to matter. So we basically have a complete deck. I would be totally fine with the rest of the table not opening a third pack if we could just go into the draft right now. We have our full 23 playables here, I guess. I think we'd probably come out on top. But hopefully we open something crazy like a Rick's Monty Guildmage for somebody else to take. So really nothing super exciting. I guess we just take a Tristani's Judgment. We could take an Eye in the Sky. The only thing we have to populate is just another Night token, so that's not that exciting. Yeah, I guess Tristani's it is. Okay, well here, I don't think we want Teleportal. I mean, it's obviously very good in Izzet, but for us, most of our stuff has evasion. Here we'll just take Sunspire Griffin. Maybe wield the Tower Drake. Alright, I guess we just take Hussar Patrol here. He's a great 4-drop, we don't have that many 4-drops. Stealer of Secrets is alright. We do have a new prop Guildmage. I think I've mentioned before, Stealer of Secrets gets a lot better once you can pop it up in the air with Guildmage, but that's kind of a cute trick, and you're not really doing like what your deck is meant to be doing, because you're spending a bunch of mana, you know, popping this thing up in the air. So yeah, I think we'll take the Hussar Patrol, maybe follow the Gavel Tables. Alright, nothing super relevant for us in this pack. Maybe somebody else jumped into Selesnya, maybe it's just not being opened. Guess we'll take the Crosstown Courier. I'd like to get some Azorius Arresters, we don't have any of those yet. Some more relevant 2-drops would be nice. Okay, well this is one of those drafts where Dispel is actually in high supply. I haven't actually seen that be the case for a while, so... I mean, I think it ended up working out because the pack where I first picked the Dispel, I got the flyer anyways. So do I want a third Dispel? I guess I do. I mean, I could take a Rootborn Defense just for a different type of trick. Maybe that's correct. Yeah, I'll take the Rootborn Defense just to have a variety. I mean, there's another Dispel here, so... so I could just take Crosstown Courier. Kind of prefer not to do that. He's pretty unexciting. I'll take Avenging Arrow just so we have an answer if we need it. Yeah, this pack has been pretty bad for us. I get the impression maybe somebody jumped into Zoria since it was so open. Here we'll just take Swift Justice, I suppose. Man, this card is so pretty. So foily shiny. Alright, well we got an Azorius Arrestor, so that's good. Not sure if we'll play the Crosstown Courier. Would have liked to get more than one Dramatic Rescue, but we only saw the one, so... What can you do, I suppose? Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wouldn't mind another 3/3 flyer, or a 3 power, 3 casting cost flyer. I think we saw a few in the opening pack, so maybe one will make it around the table. The others have. Alright, I don't think I need a third Mizium skin, and I just don't want someone getting a super late common bond. That card is kind of gross. I like that a lot of our more expensive spells have flash, so we can do what I mentioned earlier, kind of leave mana open. Alright, well this is unexciting. I guess we'll take the Avenging Arrow again. Follow the Gavel Tables is nice, so I could take that, or I could take Armory Guard. Armory Guard might actually be okay. We don't have that many 4-drops. I don't think we have room for Follow the Gavel in this deck. It's not that type of deck, I don't think. So yeah, we'll take the Armory Guard. We might play him. Guess we'll take Selesnya Sentry. Yeah, so this third pack was pretty underwhelming, but our first 2 packs were so amazing that I think on the whole we came out on top. I'm going to take Ogre Jailbreaker here because that card is scary and definitely not going to be playing a second Selesnya Sentry, I don't think. Search Warrant, oh yeah. So yeah, overall I'm pretty impressed with this deck. It seems very strong. We have pretty much an almost bomb, a solid bomb, a couple good removal spells even though they're a bit expensive. You know, and then we have cards like Azorius Charm that are pretty functional as removal. Some tricks. Alright, so yeah, these are going in, Dramatic Rescue going in. So I guess Civic Saber would have been pretty decent in our deck. We have a lot of gold cards, but... Alright, so we're definitely playing one Dispel and probably one Museum Skin, because we have a couple of good enchantments that we want to protect. We're also probably playing a Crosstown Courier. Playing one Swift Justice for sure. So actually we might be playing both Crosstown Couriers just to get our creature count up. Alright, so let's see, do I want to play both Tristanis? I think I do want to play the Skyline Predator for sure. So maybe we don't play the second Tristani's Judgment. So this is 14 creatures. So then I guess we could either play a second Dispel or a Mizium Skin. Maybe a Mizium Skin? I think I like playing the Mizium Skin here just because it does protect our creatures when we put these big enchantments on them. And then we'll put our Guild Gates in to help fix our mana. Boom. We have a double white and then one double blue. Slightly more blue than white. But yeah, I think this is good. Alright, off we go to round one.